Hi, welcome to this masterclass. I wanted to do a masterclass for a while on making and sticking to habits, and also a little bit on overcoming resistance, because usually we can make the habit, we kind of know what we need to do, we know what we need to stop doing to kind of achieve what we want in even in the smallest steps. Like we might know the intricate details or the what refinement and stuff like that, but we generally, if there's anything we want in life, like body goals, health goals, in this I'm kind of mostly focusing on like health and body goals. I suppose it's easy to understand, but this can be applied to like everything. Work, if you want to start a business, if you want to start doing things at work, if you want to start like a hobby and things like that, it all, you can use the same principles basically. So this is on like building habits and overcoming resistance around them. I have the 10-day reset, which is just a low cost offer to really get people like off the mark with this. So it really helps with the mindset and mental and emotional aspect of like creating change, creating new behaviors, because I just think that is like the main thing holding people back. A lot of people aren't stuck because they don't know what to do. It's a lot of mental and energetic and emotional resistance that actually stop us from doing the thing. Like, let's say you want to lose weight, it's like eat less, move more, like exercise, things like that. It's more, why do we have such resistance to these, or why do we do them? We don't like give them our all, or we kind of self-sabotage, or we fall off track, or something gets in the way. So anyway, the 10-day reset, if you find what I talk about in this kind of helpful, or you want to dive deeper, that is actually like a step by step for 10 days, looking at the different aspects there, like the physical, the mental, the emotional, and like how to start to overcome those as you work towards a certain goal. um so in the last year-ish or so, I've really focused on, I kind of had in my head that I wanted to get like a fitness goal. And I had been, after I had Ava and I burnt out and just being a mom, like big life changes, I kind of, what I used to go to the gym, I used to find that easy, exercise, eating well, it all kind of felt very chaotic. I just felt like I could not get into a good routine with it, or I would for a couple of weeks and then I'd stop. Like it was just very hard to maintain it and actually like see any results. Like I felt like I was doing things, but like just not seeing the results of it. And there was a time like about a year ago, and I was just like, I'm going to do it. So when you decide, that's the thing. There's the word decide is to cut out all other options. The thing is, when we think we make a decision, we think we're, oh, we'll go this way, maybe I'll go back, and we start to go kind of backwards. But the word decide is actually, you choose an option and you cut all other options out of it. Like you said you'd do it, and that's that. There's no, it's not working. Oh, maybe I'll actually try this. Maybe I'll just go back and stuff like that. It's like, no, when you actually decide. So the thing is, whatever you want in life, you have to decide it's yours. So I had to decide that that's what I wanted. And really, this came down to realizing that like it wouldn't go away. Like you may have certain things in life, like desires or goals or like visions, whatever you want to call them, and they probably just never go away. They might kind of slightly change form and stuff like that. But this was like, it was like nagging. And I was like, I've just got to do it because it's clearly like on my mind. And I also um learning more about like our mind and like manifestation and things like that, it I realized, if you have a vision of something, it's usually for you. Like if something won't go away, if it's always on your mind, like I never actually growing up like saw myself as like a sporty person or anything, but like as time went on, like I saw myself as being like fit or strong and stuff like that, not sporty. Like not that I saw myself playing sports or like some team sports or anything like that, but I was like, no, I think I'm actually meant to be like fit and healthy and kind of an active person, should we say, like healthy and active. And I suppose it came back stronger because like motherhood, like that phase of life, and you would kind of put it to the side. Like I just had to do it. There was just no, it just would not go away otherwise. And the thing is, I think a lot of people think they're like miserable or um what was I going to say? Like that it's just not meant for them. When something plays on their mind and they never actually achieve it, they just look at it, they start, what would you say, in like a negative way. It's like, oh, it's just not meant for me. It's not meant to happen. And they become probably almost complacent or even resentful, of others then who probably have that, oh, it's easy for them and stuff like that. If it's playing on your mind, if you can still see it, it's for you. And when you see it in other people or when you think about that thing, if it brings up feelings that you don't want, that's telling you something. It's telling you the way you're looking at it isn't the way it's meant to be. You have to look at that goal and see it as something that you can have. In fact, it is something that you are. You just haven't like manifested it yet. And that is like the first step in actually making something. If you don't believe you can have it, then you won't. It's like whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And that was like Henry Ford said that. But it's like, if in your mind, if you start something and you actually haven't worked on your mindset, your belief about it, how you perceive the thing, if you think it's not for you, if you think it's something that other people have but you can't have, then that you're not worthy of it, that you actually will never achieve it or can't do it, then you're right. You never will. You will keep manifesting the fact that you will never have that. You're creating separateness between you and the thing. But when I had this realization, it was like, well, if it's not going away, then I might as well embody it and like be like, so if I'm meant to have that, then what do I have to do to actually like physically manifest it? And it's easy. It was like easy to me. It's like, okay, go to the gym, like eat well. Um, I had already done nutrition for years, but a little bit of research on how to actually really optimize muscle growth, do a little bit of fat loss. And the thing is, just do it. Like you have to take action. But all those times before that I tried, I was taking action, but I was taking it from the wrong energy. I actually probably didn't think I could actually have, I actually thought like I couldn't build muscle. I actually had that belief that I couldn't build muscle, that muscle was hard, um, that I could never stick to things. I think that was a belief I had. These weren't really conscious beliefs, but when I actually, the difference in this time, having like been in the process of achieving it, and I can see it like happening, um, as opposed to the times before, it was, it's a different mindset. And I had to believe that I could have it, and it was just about aligning with it. So that's number one, is like the first thing is like, can you actually have the thing? And if you, it doesn't mean that you can't. If your beliefs are telling you that you can't, it means you need to work on your beliefs. You need to work on your mindset, which we do in the 10-day reset. So you set the intention of what you want, and you get really clear on why you want that. So the thing is, it had to be more about then looks. So even though I might have like initially made that because of like what I saw in my head, and because I wanted to look strong and healthy, but it was also about making the process mean something. So I get up for my walk every morning. It's not just about getting steps in, or it's just not about like burning calories or whatever. In fact that's absolutely not what it's about now. But when I was like, I need to be more active, I just started to feel better, and I realized it was also doing the hard thing. I built trust with myself, and I built resilience because I said I would do something and I kept following through with it even when it was hard. And I did this. I have like a behavior change meditation in the 10-day reset, which I actually visualized, each actions to anything that I'd get stuck at, like with the resistance. So firstly, I had to create like awareness around what I was doing now and where was I getting stuck? Like where in my life if I was strong and healthy and this person had those habits, where right now in my life was I not doing what they were doing in their life, but also making it really realistic. I think when we think like, oh, my future self or this person's doing this, we push too hard. Like we think they're doing all the things and they're perfect. They're not. There's nobody perfect. Even your favorite like influencer or fitness person or whatever, like they're not running on the treadmill all day. They're not lifting weights all day long. In fact, you actually have to have rest and recovery and good nervous system regulation to build muscle. Like if you just kept doing stuff and not resting and recovering and putting in the right food to actually make your muscles grow and make your body feel safe, you might lose weight, but you'll be weathered and your hormones will be in the toilet. Okay. Like you will not feel good. So therefore you will achieve the goal, maybe the number on the scales or whatever, but you won't feel like you thought you would feel. And that's what it's all about. It's never about the weight. It's never about your body. It's about how you feel. And if you feel like shit while trying to get there, then you are going to manifest feeling like shit once you're there, even if you are the weight you want, even if you, achieve like some sort of look that you were after. If on the way to get there, you've pushed and forced and hustled and abandoned all your basic needs on the way, you will manifest that feeling once you're there. And that's something I go into. In fact, I'm just telling you everything that's in the 10-day reset, but obviously in much more detail because we go through each day. And that's the next thing anyway, is you want to focus on with your intention, have the vision, sure. How does that vision make you feel? How will you feel once you have it? And then feel those feelings every day. You have to maintain that feeling as you do it, not just wait to get there at the end. If you wait to put your happiness, your peace, your satisfaction with your body, your health, like feeling healthy, like feeling like you're a healthy person, if you put that outside yourself as the end goal, you're never going to get there because it's always going to be the end goal. And you're going to get, like I said, you're going to get the physical thing, but it's not going to feel like you want it to feel if you've gone the whole journey, like not feeling good, not feeling like you've done it out of like, I have to, I should, self-criticism, self-judgment, like pushing the boundaries. There's nothing wrong with like pushing yourself like outside kind of a comfort zone. But if you're doing it without I say the nervous system's like a rubber band, it's like you stretch it and then you come back to create safety. It's like we can stretch it and then I can make myself feel safe. If you're just stretching it, you're going to rebound like back like that. That's where people like burn out, where you go, go, go. If you've been in the cycle, I was in the cycle of like overworking, trying to do all the things, trying to be like perfect, overachieve, like do everything. And I would push myself so far that then I would like rebound. And what starts as just energetic rebound, like where you just feel really low and probably moody, and it would be like a mood. Over time, when you do that multiple times, you eventually end up with gut issues, hormonal issues, more chronic issues, because your body's like, we don't want to do this anymore. We don't want to keep doing this all or nothing approach. Um, so anyway, when you create the habit, next is really focusing. I said about the behavior change and focusing on how it feels. And now in each moment of the day that you feel resistance into how you said you want to show up, how you said you want to feel, what you want to do. Say it's like doing that workout or eating well, and you're feeling like, oh, I can't be bothered making that meal, or I can't be bothered doing am I able for that workout right now? I've got like so much on. Okay, we've got resistance coming up. You said you would do the thing, and you will. Let's just take a moment to be like, what is the hidden benefit of not doing the thing. Why right now is my body trying to be like, don't do it? It's always like safety, it's always energy conservation. Like your body is feeling like we don't have enough to give this thing. Like let's just go for the easy. Let's go to the default, what we normally do, because that's easy. That's what we know. And that is what is the most energy efficient because we know it. Anything outside of it, anything with an extra bit of effort, it feels like it needs to conserve energy. So therefore, if you like haven't been consistent with your body, if you haven't been consistent with your food, your body hasn't like built safety around that routine, that habit yet. So you have to reassure it. No, we're doing this no matter what. I get there's resistance coming up. I know you feel like you're tired. I know you feel like there's a million things to do. But on the other side of this, like, how am I going to feel on the other side? Right now, I feel like this. I know. How am I going to feel after I do it? I'm going to feel like I have more energy. So right now, resistance is coming up, trying to tell me I don't have enough energy. Whereas doing this 20-minute workout, I know will give me energy. Making this nutrient more dense meal that's going to take me like 10 minutes is going to give me more energy on the other side. So that actually doesn't make sense. It's like you're kicking the legs out from under that belief, and you're just reassuring your body it's safe for us to do this. And then just start off with like the least amount of habits. Like when I have clients, I'm like, just start with the morning. What could we do in the morning to just make you feel more nourished, to really get you off to a good start, to get you in a good mindset, get your body prepped for the day. Like, what can we do in the morning? And we just focus on breakfast. And most people, they're like, no, give me the day. I'll do the whole day. I'm ready to go. And I'm like, yes, right now, because you're relying on motivation. Motivation won't be here in 2 weeks. Motivation won't be here. So you need a why. You need tools to be able to switch that response when it comes to it, no matter what, to devote yourself to looking after yourself and feeling better, devote yourself towards the vision and the process towards the vision, because devotion is out of love, discipline is out of like just sheer willpower, just like even if it's like discipline, I look at discipline like as in it just also doesn't take into account like your emotions. And I'm not saying let your emotions dictate what you're going to do, but also like hear them out. It's like they're coming up for a reason. Um, Emotions are like, say you have a child inside of you, and that child is like, oh no, 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 I don't want to do this. And you have to like reassure the child it's okay. And but you still need to do the thing. It's not that like you don't do it, but you're like, let's start slow. Let's reinforce the idea of why this is good for us. Let's like kick out some of those beliefs, like dispel right now, it's fear of the unknown. It's okay. Like we know we can do this workout if, you know, we won't push ourselves like too far. We're going to take it at our own kind of pace. And also, it's going to feel so good to have done. And it's always about investing in like your future self. So sometimes investing in your future self also looks like rest. If you're sick and you need to like an extra hour of sleep instead of going for your walk, then investing in your future self is having that sleep instead, because that's going to give you more energy in the long term. It's always what is going to make me feel better in the long term. Survival mode wants to feel better in the present. It's looking for that dopamine hit. So when it comes to like making your lunch, of course it's going to just want like the quick toast or the pastry. Like survival mode loves carbs and like salty snacks because carbs are easier to digest and they get into your bloodstream quicker for that quick hit. Making a more nutritious meal has a longer term payoff. It's like right now, it's going to cost me a little bit more energy. I'm going to have to overcome this resistance bet, but long term, this is going to stand to me. And I also have to look at it like compound interest. It's like over time, I'll gain momentum and I'll see the results. Whereas right now I'm paying into a fund that I don't get to kind of see the see the outcome of yet, you know? Whereas dopamine hits and survival mode once the outcome right now. Oh, I've had this like sweet treat. I've had this sweet treat instead of my dinner. Like it's not that we can't have sweet treats, but instead of, it's like skipping meals and then eating those kind of things afterwards. Like they're going to give your body like a rush of something right then, but afterwards you're going to feel shit. It's going to cost you long term. So when we're making habits, we really need to switch our mindset to what is the compound interest here? What is like the future investment? And it doesn't mean if you're, if most of the time, if all week you like not even all week, if you've ate a balanced breakfast, lunch, dinner, there's nothing stopping you having a little bit of chocolate or a little snack. Number one, if you're having like balanced meals anyway, you're not going to feel as much cravings and stuff like that. But you can also have that, but knowing that you've actually like nourished your body and worked towards what you want. And yes, I can have this little sweet treat, and but it's fine. Like that's not really making a dent in my compound interest. That's only that's like I took out a fiver, out of I've saved up like 500, and okay, I'm taking out like a fiver because I want a treat. But yeah, you have to look at it like that. Whereas if we're having those little hits all the time and putting nothing in our savings, then long term, it's like nothing's working. It's like Groundhog Day. I'm seeing the same things all the time. And it's like, yeah, because we haven't been putting it in the investment account. We've just been taking from the investment account. So you have to look at it like that and also know that like it will pay off long term. This is another thing. It's like I used to waste a lot of time doing something. So say when it's weight gain, this is a good example, is like there's going to be fluctuations. Your brain is going to make you think it's not working because it wants you to stay the same. And not your brain, I mean like your ego, your survival brain. It doesn't like change. It wants to stay the same. Say you start, let's just say weight loss because it's easy to explain. You think you're in a calorie deficit and you've been going to the gym for like a week or two and the scales have been going down and you're like, that's great. And you've been in this. And next thing you step on the scales and they've fucking gone off. You're like, sorry. Number one, don't let anything external displace how you feel internally. You're still on the path. This is nothing. It's like that is just information. And that information only means what you make it mean. If you make it mean it's not working, I can never lose weight. Like I need to, and then here we like cut our calories more, we exercise harder. This is like some go like that, some just like, oh, what's the point? Might as well have that cake or whatever. We sabotage because we look at this external thing that actually, like number one, if you know anything about weight, could be water weight, could be it's your period, it could be you just ate more carbs yesterday. It has nothing to do with fat or your goals. It's got nothing to do with that. We won't go into that right now. I do have like a body workshop I want to do where I'll go into a bit more about that. But basically, that it just means nothing. It's data. So even if you're tracking, you just put that in and you just think, I'm still on the path. When you get a bit more results, so say you do the same thing for like a month or even 6 weeks, you have to keep doing things. You have to just make the habit. We can refine later. This is the same with like, even when I'm teaching people, I'm like, say, eating well at breakfast, and then the next week we introduce lunch. It may not be perfect because people are like, oh, like 2 days, oh, I've got off track. I'm like, it's not off track. It is, you're actually on track, because if you didn't eat breakfast for like ever, and now you've started eating it because to improve like your hormone health or whatever we're trying to do, like create like nervous system safety and stuff like that, then to me that looks like success, because you've just done like a week and a half of putting balanced breakfast in, and yeah, for 2 days it kind of wasn't how you wanted it to go. What that doesn't mean, it doesn't mean anything. It means those 2 days are gone. Now we just pick up, we just keep going. Whereas when we look at what's not working, when we take our focus off the where we're going and just putting your focus on the processes that will get you there, when we take them off, we're putting our energy in the wrong place, because we're not feeding into the investment again. We're looking around, where is it working? Oh, maybe I should try this, maybe I should do that. We're wasting time, or worse. Oh, here I go again. I've just fallen off track. Oh, what's the point? In fact, going backwards. All this mental energy, all that thinking, all that feeling bad, feeling guilty, feeling like a failure, it's all wasted energy that could be towards getting back on the process towards your goals. There is no such thing as falling off track unless you believe you've fell off track. And then you feed that old frequency, which is great. We're back in the comfort zone. We don't have to change. That's what your old frequency, the old story is telling you. We don't have to change. This is all good. Let's go back to our comfort zone. Don't try and do anything different. Don't try and, like, I don't know, be better, because that's not safe. It's not safe to be better. It's safe to stay the same. It's safe to not expend our energy. We should just keep doing the default pattern, even though we're miserable, even though we're sick, even though we're not like happy where we're at body wise. But this is much safer. And if you have to be miserable and doubting yourself and calling yourself a failure to stay here, good. That's what the ego is saying. That's what it's thinking. But you are not the ego. The ego is just a brain. It's just a record player. And you need to see above it and be like, no, that's actually not what I'm doing. I'm back on the process. I'm always on the path. Even if the path takes a detour, that was a lesson I had to learn. So that was 2 days that I didn't have the perfect breakfast. Just had to do an outfit change. No, I didn't. Ava and Jeff came in yesterday, so I had to stop. So I may just take a minute to like get in the flow again. And, some things just work out, what seems like an obstacle, like them coming in yesterday and disrupting the recording seemed like an obstacle. But then I went on my walk this morning and I actually got like a few more things that I feel like are important to say. And the same, like sometimes you have to make everything mean it's working out for you, even if it's like the shittiest thing to happen. It's important, the way you perceive it is that you're always on the right path, that it's always working. When you think it's not working, when you think I've fallen off, when you think it's just not meant for me, all of this, it's like, yes, what you think, that's what will happen. You will prove that to yourself, because you are so powerful that when you doubt yourself and when you believe your fears, that is kind of what happens, because we are making it happen with our state of consciousness, which what we continue believe about ourselves, what we continually think, that's what we'll attract. So even this morning I got up and I forgot to, normally I'm pretty good at like putting my stuff out, which is a thing for a habit actually, is fail to prepare, prepare to fail kind of a thing, where it seems like, I don't know, it's like literally habit making 101, but getting your stuff ready the night before. But I will say I did a lot of like the mindset stuff first, and that led me to do the habits when I was just trying to take the action steps without actually visualizing it, working on the identity piece. Like, I mean, visualizing how it feels to be the person who already has this habit and things like that, without doing that like energetic piece, when I would go straight into the action from still the identity of like not the healthy person or the person who's not fit, it would feel like 10 times harder. And I would keep what felt like self-sabotage, but really I just hadn't like prepared my mind and body for the change that's going to come. But now I do it like kind of just really naturally like leave clothes out like the night before, and I take my cup of tea on my walk because it's just making it like a vibe, like make it desirable. And obviously getting up in the dark, in the cold, is not something like I naturally want to do, but I've made it something I want to do because I pair it with other things. I listen to inspiring podcasts. I Like I said, I make it mean something more. And then I have like my cup of tea. I've got like 22 layers on, like just workers. Like, why does it look like the Michelin man is coming towards me like every morning? And like, there's a saying in Ireland, it's like, you can't be sexy and warm at the same time. And I will always pick warm. I will always pick warm. Um, so yeah, I'll embrace the Michelin man because it's just in the process of like what I want to do with my 20 layers, my cup of tea, listening to my podcast with my head torch. And yeah, it's just what makes me do the thing. And also, the more I do the thing, the more momentum I gain behind it, and the more I don't have to think about it. It becomes natural. It doesn't feel like effort and force anymore. But so does I leave out like my clothes. I leave them out here that I'm going to put on in the morning, and get dressed like in front of like the fire is kind of still slightly going. Make the room warm. I don't know how you could do that, but if you're getting up and getting ready. But this morning, I forgot to put out the clothes, and I was like, oh, that's like out of character. And it's like, you always like, I didn't lean into anything. I know that seems like something small, but that would have been something like like me before would have been like, oh, I just won't go, or oh, of course, like as in a negative thing. But yeah, I try not to make anything mean anything negative now. And I just put on like Jeff's jumper because his jumper was out here. And it turned out that was like the perfect jumper that I needed. It was like extra, extra cold this morning. And my jumper didn't have a hood. His jumper had a hood that came up like right around my face and made my face all nice and warm. And it came down and like covered my hands. Like even within my 20 layers, I would have been cold. And this just add extra coziness. And on my walk, I was like, actually, me forgetting that has worked out like perfectly because now I'm even cozier and warmer than I would have been had I done like what I normally do. Anyway, where was I going on that? I'm just saying basically the principle behind this is no matter what happens, even if it feels like the opposite, even if you've fallen off track, stay in the mindset of it's always working for me. It's always working out. I'm always on the right path. Everything I do is perfect. And even if it's something that clearly seems like the opposite of what you want, it's about like leaning into like, we don't have to like go down whole rabbit holes of like, why, how is this, like, what is this lesson? Or how is this working out for me? It's like, just believe it. It is like, it's like, this is teaching me something, is because the person who has what I want, they know this lesson. So this scenario, this event that's coming up, this situation, this feeling, whatever it is, these thoughts, they're trying to teach me something. But like, what is the lesson that the future me who already has it, what lesson have they learned from this? Are they like, not to make it mean anything, whatever it is, make it mean something positive or actually learn something. I would say nobody grows or builds resilience from everything working out. If you're always a winner, if you always win, if you always succeed, you wouldn't have much character. You wouldn't have much character. You wouldn't have like built resilience. You learn more from when you fail or you don't succeed than when you do succeed. We don't kind of sit there a lot of the times if we just keep, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. We don't kind of sit and reflect and be like, why? Oh, why have I won? Oh, why? Oh, what did I do there? No, but when you fail, you're like, okay, like like it's time to reflect, it's time to revise, it's time to like reanalyze that, like what, like if I do still want the thing and I want to move towards it, like what could this have told me? It's like there's no such thing as failure, it's only ways that you've only found another way, it didn't work, so what did you learn from that? And also, I think there's no such thing as failure, because each failure, each way it didn't work, has then given you, if you grow from it, if you don't let it, set you back, if you bounce back from it and learn what you have to learn, you've built an extra character trait that, had you won straight away, you never would have built. There's something there that you have learned. You now have more wisdom, you now have more experience. So therefore, is it a failure? No, it's because you're acquiring the tools, the knowledge, the way of being of what you want, and you have discovered one of those things through not getting what you want. So yes, totally, they weren't even the things I wanted to say. So one of the things that came up this morning was, if you're starting a new habit, if you're wanting to change something, a behavior, starting a new goal, something like that, be so honest. I used to try and jump, like totally ignoring where I was. I talked about earlier, if you are burnt out, if your health is not good and you want to build an empire business, it's like, maybe your first step isn't like, oh, what offer will I create, or what maybe I need to get like my business name. Maybe it's actually like, well, like whoever builds this business is going to have to like hold this business. They're going to have the capacity for this. Therefore, I should probably like clean up my health. Let's get some energy back. Let's feel good while I, like, yes, that is, if it's like I said, if it's your vision, then it's meant for you. However, it's like, do you see yourself a shell of a person owning this business, or a shell of a person like who has 0% body weight but feels like absolute crap, like feels like like their health's affected, they're reactive, they're fighting with their family, they're just not being the person who they want to be, but they have the thing that they thought they wanted. It's just, we have to get really honest about where we are and start where we're at. It doesn't mean we can't have the dream body. It doesn't mean we can't have the job or the business or whatever it is. But if your foundations, I cannot get like the foundations. I had many a life lesson in the foundations. So I feel like that's like a bit, I've kind of got that down. And it wasn't just, it was, yes, food, nourishment, like how is your health, like biofeedback, what is your body telling you, or maybe screaming at you, that you haven't addressed, and you keep going on in life trying to push through and do all these things and do these things for other person, while like inside it's just like falling apart. Maybe that's physically, maybe it's mentally, like emotionally not feeling that way. Like for me, yeah, it was like all those things. And I kept just trying to like do the thing, if I just do this, then I'll be okay. But it wasn't. I needed to go back to basics, learn how to look after myself. As humans, we have basic needs. If they're not being met, then your body, no matter how much inside you have the desire to do something or create a life, if your body is breaking down, you are not going to be able to hold it. You have to build the capacity. You have to get your foundations, like just movement, connection, nourishment. If you're lacking nutrients, some sort of stability, this is something I've seen in women in survival, is like a lack of just structure and stability in nourishing themselves. Like they will like burn out or get a health problem, and then they'll try and do everything like perfectly, and maybe they'll do the nutrition plan, they get the supplements, they try to do it so that they can go back to the way they were being, and then the cycle continues, and then they get some energy back, and then they go gung ho again. And I actually don't know what gung ho means, but they'll go full throttle again. Sorry if that context didn't fit, if you actually know what that means, but they'll go fast again and burn out again, or another symptom will pop up, or another thing will pop up, and they've my thing was, yeah, I would do all the right things. And then I would go back and I would just, the minute I started working again, the minute I started feeling productive or I have to do these things, I would like skip meals. I would just eat carb. Like I would go back and like do those things. And I could like, for a while, I didn't realize I was doing this. And then I could see it happening. And it was just like, it was that observer of myself, which I've got a meditation in the 10-day reset where you can start to gain awareness around these things and actually observe yourself. Like there's a visualization of you actually observing like yourself going through your day, and you'll be like, why am I thinking that way? Why am I doing that? Like when I know that's not what I want to do, or I know that I should do this, and yeah, I'm looking at myself and I'm not doing it. And it's about being really neutral about it. That is just data. You are doing that if you go into default autopilot, if you do not carry through on the habits or behaviors that you said you would. Know that it's a protection thing. You're doing it for a reason. There is nothing you do that isn't for a reason. Even if it's like standing still, even if it's freeze mode, you're doing that as a protection. You're conserving energy. You are afraid of there is something, you are afraid to make a move in case it costs you something, in case something happens. And if you haven't looked after your foundations, especially if you don't feel resourced, you especially won't do the new things because your body is just like, we do not have the resource. We can't even look after ourselves right now. We're abandoning our needs left, right, and center right now. Why would I do something new? Why would I exert more energy? Like, you're already not looking after me. I am already like not okay. And you want me to do more? Like, are you shutting me? Like, that's basically what your body is. And it does that by then procrastinating, like where you're just doom scrolling and you're like, you consciously are like, oh my God, stop now, get off this. Like, I don't want to be doing this. And yet you just can't stop. It's because autopilot, like your unconscious is like, I'll just keep us safe because if I just keep her doing the same thing, um, and also keep her like dissociated from her life, then firstly we can't see like that this isn't the how we want to live, and secondly then she won't try and like change anything, and then we'll be safe. Okay, we're miserable, we're not making any progress in life, we're not evolving, we're not going after our dreams and goals. That's okay though, because at least we're safe. And she's been skipping meals left, right, and center, and then like not taking, like she bought 20,000 supplements that she remembers to take like once a month. So I can't trust her. We must not trust her to do the thing. So therefore I am taking over, and I am going to use the best coping mechanism that I know, which is like freeze, procrastination, people pleasing. Um oh, when we get a bit of energy, let's just overwork a bit to just prove our worth, and then we'll crash out later when it comes to like meeting our own needs. We'll just crash out and rot and like not do those things, but at least like we look okay to other people, and that is keeping us safe. Anyway, you can see how this ties into making new habits, making new behaviors. Please don't try and like reach for the stars before you've kind of gotten up off the floor, or I don't know how that. Yeah, basically focus on your foundations first. Like, do you actually have energy to do the thing? And go from there. Like, are you going to bed? Like, are you sleeping okay? Um, like, can you rest, and can you actually rest? Like, I mean, mentally, physically, emotionally, not just physically. Oh, I've rested, like I've sat down for a bit, but your mind is going a million miles an hour, because that's not rest. That is still your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So if you're sitting there physically resting, but your mind is going through all worst case scenarios, shoulda, woulda, coulda, worry, I have to do this, I have to do that, you're not actually getting rest, because in your mind you are going through all these mental loops that you need to do, and they are using energy, and your brain actually believes all these like worst case scenarios are happening, so therefore you are actually not resting. um okay, now, so again, going back to identity, and remember I said about it's more important to feel the feelings. Well, also discerning, getting really clear on what. So if you already have the thing, so you imagine whatever it is that you want, you already have it right now. Now, what is this version of you thinking, feeling? What do they believe? What do they believe about themselves? What do they believe about others? So if they already have the thing, they already believe that they can have it. In fact, they're already like living in that reality. So therefore it's normal to them. So you have to normalize like what you want. And then what do they think about it? They probably think like, I doubt you want the thing, and you thinking like, oh, this is really hard to maintain. It's like, no, when you visualize it, it's like they already have it. It's easy to them. It's effortless. Again, going back to just say it's like body goals or health goals, and you're doing the things, you're like doing them. And it's just easy because it's just who you are. Like for me, imagining getting up and walking at one point in time past me was like, oh, I have to get up. Oh, I can't do it. I can't, like, it's actually hard to get into the consciousness now because now it's something I just, because I've normalized it. But there was time I was just pressing snooze. I didn't want to do it. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, it's cold. Like I said, it's actually hard to remember what it's like because even though that was me, but I'm just trying to prove the point that when you do something, when you put so much energy behind a certain way of being, it just becomes naturally who you are, that it's hard to um think outside of that because it just feels I just do it. It's this morning, woke up, it's cold, it's raining. Yeah, for like a second it's like, oh, is it raining? Oh, okay. It doesn't matter because this is just what I do. It's hard to like explain, but I used to have so much resistance to it, and now there's like no resistance. But that didn't happen overnight. It came from really like backing myself and doing the thing no matter what. And I had to use all the tools and techniques at the start to overcome the resistance and just do the thing. And you have to have more kind of like bumpers, when you play bowling, it's like at the start, you need all the bumpers to stop you going off track, to stop you going back to the old story, the old frequency. So these bumpers are getting clear on the identity. What are they thinking? What are they feeling? What are they doing? How do they hold themselves? What are their beliefs? What do they believe about themselves and the world? How do they dress? What's their posture? What do they do in the day? Like just everything about that. And especially with the thoughts. So there's an actual like a mental audit day in the 10-day reset where we're looking at beliefs and thoughts. And it's like you uh, get clear on like the thoughts you're thinking right now, because we have to be aware of those. But then you would think, what thoughts are they thinking? And like, just make it up. You just make it up. It's just like imagining what it could be. And like for me, when it was like being healthy, it's like, I'm already I'm already like fit and healthy. I'm already, even if I had health symptoms, I would think like, what would it feel like to like not, who would I be like without these? What would I be thinking? What would I be feeling? And it's like I'm and trying to feel into those feelings. But the thoughts is each time you think in the old frequency, you're like what you know, like say you're doing something, you're like, oh, it's not working. What's the point? You catch yourself and then you replace it with one of the thoughts of, you're like, it's always working. Like I do this, I still do this. Like when I catch myself, think the opposite. Well, you can think the opposite thought, or if you're doing a bit of journaling and stuff about this, you write down the thoughts that your future self or the person who already has what you want, you write them down. And then each time you think a thought that is the opposite to that, you just correct yourself. There's no need to resist it. There's no need to like bat down and be like, no, you're wrong. Like, as in, we don't, what you resist persists, but you just see it. Okay, I'm thinking that way, and now I'm going to say 10 times in my head the opposite thought, that it is work. Of course, it's always working for me. I'm already healthy. Um, I already have so much energy. I've got so much energy for the gym. I've got like, I'm just a person. I just go to the gym. I just don't even think about it. It's just effortless. I just go in there and I know it makes me feel better. And it's just like who I am now, or, making this meal. It's just who I am. I'm just a person who finds it so easy and effortless to eat healthy. These are just examples. Like you will, when you sit down and journal, you'll get so much more like from this. But just remember, each time you think a thought that's from the old story, that is like the old frequency, the old identity, then just correct it and be like, nope, like we're not going there, and think the new thought like 10 times. Um, that's another way. So this is getting pretty long. I'm probably going to wrap it up soon. Remember, all of this, like I go into much more depth in the 10 days. Um, and I know it feels like a lot, but it's not as you're doing it, because these are really practical, like you're going through your day. There's there's not much in there that takes you out of like the flow of your day, apart from in the morning. I'd probably recommend like visualizing, like for like 2 to 5 minutes, like how you want your day to go. And then if there's any like hardcore resistance where like you're literally like, I cannot move, like as in like the emotions are too much, then in the 10-day reset, I do tell you to do some emotional processing, because obviously that is a belief, that is, there is something about this habit or this action you want to take or this way you want to think or feel that has a lot of emotional charge behind it. And we have to neutralize some of that charge sometimes before we can actually do the thing, or else it feels like too much. So we talk about emotions as well in that one. So again, say you're sitting outside the gym, or you are just about to, like, it's lunchtime and you're feeling scatty again. You're feeling like, oh, I don't know if I want to. So it's finding that if you're still not feeling it, like if you, it's just after you like visualize how good it is to have done, and visualize like the process and how easy it is, and that it's actually, you know, you're enjoying it, you've kind of got your things set up, like your nice outfit for the gym, like you've made it a vibe kind of a thing, which I talk about again, just all of this 10-day reset. Go in there if any of this is like, you know, feeling resonant. um it's okay. So say, yeah, you've done that and you're still like, I'm thinking of me being in the car, like outside the gym. I don't get this anymore. I just get out, I just do it. Um, you know, it's I yeah, I just can't believe it. You know what I mean? From like, it just like a year ago, I would like sit there and then I'd be like, okay, go in there. And it would just feel, I was just not above like my survival brain. It was just that would like win out. And the more I let that win, the more I didn't do the thing that I wanted to do, because of fear, because of stress, because of overwhelm. I actually fed that energy every time I like drove away and like didn't do the thing when I could have done the thing. It like chipped away at my confidence, like chipped away. And later that day, I'd be feeling so more zapped of energy, more zapped of just inspiration and confidence and stuff like that. So you have to remember that like, what's this going to cost me? Like, as in, what's this going to give me if I do it? What's it going to cost me? And is that something I'm willing to pay? You know? And this is where as well, if you are sick, if you were genuinely don't have the energy, you're genuinely like zapped of energy and maybe borderline sick, or you are sick or something, and you think about doing the thing, you feel it into it later. It's like, oh, like, would taking a nap actually give me more energy now? Or would going to the gym give me energy? And like, feel into it and like, which one gives you more energy? Do that one. If you're feeling like, actually, no, like I am so exhausted, I'm just recovering from like the flu and I just don't feel up to it yet, but I know I will do it tomorrow. And like, as in, it's not that if I don't do this, then everything's lost. Again, that's that all or nothing mindset. You have to be like, well, we will do it tomorrow or the next day. Like, let's just see how our recovery goes. And then when I say I'm going to use this time to recover, actually do that. Don't go do other stuff, you know, again. It's building trust with your body that you did what you said you would do, and everything is in your best interest and gives you energy. What's going to give your energy and what's going to take it in the long term. I've gone off. Oh yeah, but say, yeah, that you're finding it really hard and like that, you find the entry point of least resistance. Okay. So whatever the habit is. So if it's for food, for making like a nutritious meal, I basically have like this go-to that like the stuff is always there, and it's literally like the easiest thing. I do it like on autopilot now. Just pick a meal or two that is like, it may not be perfect, but it's a balanced meal and it's like fairly nutritious and it still kind of ticks the marks of like looking after myself and like what I need, but it's also like the very easiest thing to do. And just do that. Even if you have that, if you're just not feeling it for the week and you have that like 4 days in a row, that is better than, because what I used to do is either like skip it and then late in the afternoon, I just have like toast or something. And then it's like dinner time and I'll be like snacking and stuff around there. And yeah, I just, my body would just be like, what is going on? We're not getting a meal. Okay, we're in survival. Now we must eat the carbs and stuff like that. And it's, yeah, it just throws everything off. But if you can keep just the structure, if you can keep the routine, even if it's not perfect, and I do this, the easiest way to understand this is like when it comes to when I really don't feel like working out, when I am really like, okay, I've done all the things and I still feel like it's really hard to just pick up the weight or like go in the door, or like if it's at home, I find this mostly at home because once I'm at the gym, I've done half the work, like I'm already there, and then I like go in. Whereas at home, I do like the vibe isn't the same, so I have to create the vibe. I have to create it. By the way, if you don't know, like I live really rural, so it's not, I can't just go to the gym every day. It takes like 45 minutes to drive there. So the gym is like a 2 or 3 day a week thing. And then I like to do two workouts at home. So I make this easy by doing my mostly arm workouts at home because it's just, again, a point of like least resistance. And the weights I have that are here, it's more a practical thing. But I just say, okay, let's just do 10 minutes and I'll turn on the TV. I'll watch something that I want to watch or something, and let's do 10 minutes. Most of the time, I do more than 10 minutes and push myself. Or sometimes it's just like, if I'm actually tired, I'm like, okay, let's not go for progressive overload today. Let's just lift what I lifted the last day. And do that. We don't have to like push ourselves every time. But then the minute I get my energy back, yes, let's get back on the plan of like progression and things like that. But the point of least resistance is just to just start it, find the easiest way in to the habit and just do it. And usually you like gain momentum from there and it'll give you energy. And if you're really not feeling it, then after the 10 minutes, it's like you still kept your promise to yourself and you can still stop if you want to, but get really honest, because if you actually do have the energy then and you gain momentum, you might as well do the thing properly. So like I said, every time you show up, no matter how small, you build evidence that it's safe to do. And this gains momentum again over time. You decrease that resistance to doing the thing. Again, I've already talked about if you aren't where you want to be, the only thing to do is like keep going. Like, sure, you might try and do it a little bit differently. You might get a new strategy. You might do it with a new mindset, but it is just to like keep going towards what you want. Every time we stop and we look backwards or we look in a different direction and stuff like that, it's just costing you energy into the vision. And in fact, it's taking it out because obviously looking around and going backwards is using energy as well. So you're using the energy that you could have been putting in your vision bucket, your manifestation bucket, whatever it is you're trying to create. It says if you've got on the wrong train, I'm not sure if that actually applies here, but it's like the longer you stay on the wrong train in the wrong direction or whatever, or doing something that you don't really want to be doing, or focusing on something you don't want to be focusing on, the longer that you stay on the wrong train, like the longer it'll take you to get back. It costs you more to get back. Okay. And now just into really practical, I've already touched on bits of this, but if you haven't read Atomic Habits by James Clear, obviously I feel like if you're here, you've probably read that or you've at least heard about it. And his principles are still like legit today. Like you can read that book over and over and get something from it. But he talks about like the actual stages. I didn't actually do this. It was more, I looked at this after doing what I'm doing and I was like, oh, I realized I kind of did that, but I did it from, again, creating the identity. And then that just gave me the impulses and the intuition to like follow the rest of it. Um, and then it turns out that then it kind of looked like what he said to do. But he's on about a cue, so make it obvious. So design your environment so the trigger for the behavior you want is visible and clear. If you want to read more, put the book on your pillow. If you want to drink more water, put the glass on the counter, remove friction from the cue. So again, like with the gym is like I schedule it. Like I have the days that I go, I have the times that I go, and I will just go then. And I kind of then create life around that. I will make those the days that I do shopping in town or whatever. It's like you have to pick this, you have to schedule it, which seems like very masculine and not very flow like, but you need to have the structure, some sort of structure, so that you can flow around that. It just takes the indecision out of it, which is just leaky energy. Oh, when will I go? What will I do? No, just put it in and go those times like every week. Um, Make it obvious. Like I said, I've set up to get up for my walk in the morning. Now, in summer, I was just naturally waking. I was like telling my subconscious I want to wake at this time, and I would just naturally wake. I will say with winter, because I have to get up in the dark, obviously my body's a bit like, we don't want to wake. We're not waking up. So I mostly wake at the time, but I've actually just started putting an alarm like on my watch to get up because of the dark mornings and stuff like that. I was feeling like I was just sleeping in like just past the time I would get up. Um, and even with that, I would still go, even if it's 20 minutes, like I normally go, like it's like 50 minutes or whatever, but I would just do the 20. That's the thing as well, is like, again, getting out of this perfection mindset. Even if I woke up and I had 15 minutes to go do it, I'll go do it. In fact, when Jeff was away, it's more about just keeping, like I said, it's like keeping the structure and the habit, no matter what, um, just like builds the, like I said, the trust within yourself, and also it creates safety around it. It's like, oh, we do this all the time now. This is normal. We don't need to have resistance around this because this is now normal to us. When Jeff was away and like I couldn't go on my walk because obviously there was nobody here with Ava, I literally got up and for 15 minutes, like walked around the house, like outside, like around the garden. Just like if anyone saw me, they were like, what the fuck? She's going through an existential crisis or something. But it wasn't. It was just like keeping like the habit, because if he was gone for like 4 mornings or whatever, that would be four. And that really, if you're a woman, like that pisses you off. You get resentful about that stuff. If this is the thing that I normally do, now you're away, I can't do that. Like that's very putting the control outside yourself. But I'm like, but if I want to do this thing, like how do I make it happen? Even if it's not perfect, even if it's not how like I want it to be, it does not need to be perfect. It's just about building the trust with yourself, building the momentum behind that behavior or habit or way of thinking or way of feeling. Um, so craving, make it attractive. Now this is, I like this one. It's like make it a vibe. And I learned like with work, it's like got my coffee and like a nice cup, making sure I'm nice and warm and cozy in like a nice um place. And I do, yeah, it's just making like it a vibe around the thing that you want to do. And like I said, going to the gym, I like music, listen to the music on the way there. Um, have a coffee like before. Again, just we're getting you're kind of coming into my I'm a like Libra moon, so that's all very like I like things pretty, I like things neat and tidy and peaceful, and I like my little like feminine luxuries, like and being cozy and warm and like nice spaces and um like dressing nice and things like they say for like a Libra moon, it's like even put like food on a nice plate and stuff like that. And it just makes it all, oh, yeah, like that. If you're making your food, like if you need it, get simple recipes, but make them look nice. Like put it on a nice plate, have your coffee in a nice mug, like just enjoy it on the way there. So make it attractive. You need to want to do the thing. Bundle a habit you need to do with something you enjoy. Change your environment so it feels appealing. Associate the behavior with a positive identity. I am somebody who moves her body rather than I'm trying to exercise or I have to exercise. It's like I am somebody who gets so much energy from doing this. And I, like I said, when I'm actually working out, I actually see myself getting like mentally stronger and more resilient, like as I'm lifting weights. And each time I overcome, like push through the weight, I like see it as like pushing through just anything, anything else that feels like a weight or like heavy in your life. It's like I can do hard things and you prove to your body and your mind I can do these hard things. I felt before I came in here like I didn't want to do it, and now we've done it. We've shown ourselves that is safe to do. Response, make it easy, reduce the number of steps between you and the habit. The 2-minute rule, start with a version of the habit that takes you 2 minutes or less. This is, like I said, it's like finding like the easiest way in, the little mouse hole into it. Like, as in, if the resistance is feeling big and it feels like this big wall, it's like, what is like the tiny little mouse hole into the habit that I can just start with, and then I can build into building on it on the other side as it gives me energy as I do the thing. Um, so like again, when making habits, don't make them huge things. Don't try and overhaul your whole day or your whole life. Don't run 5K. Like just be like, I'm gonna get dressed, like even if it's putting on the running stuff, and listen to some music, upbeat music while you do it. And while you're doing that, envision yourself actually doing the run and how enjoyable it is, and also envision you coming home after you've done it and how good you're going to feel then. And then envision yourself all the little tips are good. And then you envision yourself 6 months down the line when you've been doing this every day and how good that feels. And then you feel those feelings now. You embody that person now, and then you go on your run and tell yourself, if you're still, if the wall is still there, you're like, okay, we're going to do 10 minutes, just 10 minutes out of my day, but you will keep going. So repetition builds the neural pathway and perfection comes later. So you're just trying to like make it a habit. This is what I was saying about when you're making more balanced meals, more protein, more fiber, things like that. Like just start with breakfast and then nail breakfast for the week. Even if it's not perfect, we can refine it later. We're just trying to create like that habit right now, and it becomes so much easier to refine later. It's like going to the gym. Don't try to be perfect at everything or have the perfect routine. This put me off for so long. Like, oh, is this the right exercise? But it's like, no, just do it. Just do that one for 6 weeks. Nail it. Like I've showed up 3 times a week. Go me. And then it's like, okay, now how do I want to refine what I've already been doing? You just build on it. And then reward is make it satisfying. The brain encodes behaviors that feel good immediately. Give yourself some sort of immediate gratification, a tick on a habit tracker, like tick it off on your phone. So we use in the 10-day reset, we write down the habits that we want and we're like ticking them off each day. A moment of acknowledgement, anything that closes the loop with a small hit of satisfaction or achievement. So this is about not only enjoying the process, but celebrating the process. Don't make your celebration stop waiting for it at the outcome and celebrate like doing the thing, celebrate doing the one workout and be like, yep, I nailed that. I showed up today. Even if it's the 10 minutes, it's like, I really didn't want to do that. And everything in my body was saying, don't do it. And the old me would have just listened and like not done it. But today I did it. And it was not only, it was 10 minutes, but it kept the momentum. It kept the trust. It's showing myself I can do hard things and that I'm safe on the other side of it. Not only safe, I feel better for it. Yeah, that's a quick overview of like the habits and things like that. I hope that's kind of helpful and it resonated. Like I said, if you want to work, when I was talking about the foundations, the nervous system, eating, stuff like that, I've got some free and like lower paid stuff in the community. If you just get into the community, I'll be sharing more there because I'm making a habit of putting stuff out more. And just when I have ideas or I want to like teach something, I'm trying to just create the safe, like reduce the space between having the thought and actually taking the action. Because each time I don't take the action when I have the thought, it kind of like creates what is it? It like compounds the fact that it's not safe to do. So every time you want to do the thing and you don't do it, you're compounding the fact that yeah, you're right, that's not safe to do, so we're not going to do it. But each time the opposite is true. Each time you feel you want to do something and you know you should do it and you do it, even in the littlest way, you build trust that I just did the thing. I could do hard things. I can do the things I told myself, and I actually feel better for it. And I'm safe on the other side. And now I've got, say me putting out, and now I've got this whole like course done, and now I've got all this stuff to help people with. Or like now I've just done 6 weeks of going to the gym and I'm starting to see the changes. But the transformation happens in each of those like little steps in between. So yeah, just really detaching from the outcome and start acting like each step towards it is the thing to celebrate and is the achievement, because it actually is. What that's what changes your identity, is all those little things. It's not one big thing. They say about like lotto winners, if you have a scarcity mindset, if you have a poor relationship with money, or don't believe you are a rich person, and the people who win lotto like that, like they didn't have to do anything, they didn't have to become anyone to get that money, they just got given it, and within 6 months they've like lost everything, and some of them even are in debt, and things like that. It's because they couldn't hold it, because they didn't learn to become the person who had that much money. They hadn't embodied that identity, so therefore they just go back to what they were. They like throw it all away, they lose it all, whatever happens is irrelevant. However, they just didn't become the person who has that much money. They were still in the scarcity, poor, I'm poor, broke mentality. They got given the money, but if they don't have the capacity to hold it, if they're not in the identity of having that much money, then they will lose it all. Same with your body. If you force your way and lose weight and you become the ideal weight, but you are not in the identity, or you're not in the embodiment of a healthy person, you are going to find that so hard to maintain. And these are the people who like yo-yo diet and stuff like that. It's because they haven't embodied, they still see themselves as an unhealthy person. They still see themselves as a person who doesn't have don't have a fit body. They don't see themselves as a healthy person. So therefore they can push and force and do the things and like get there, Biggest Loser style. And then it's like because they're in that mentality, they still have all the habits and the beliefs of the person before, instead of this new body. They can't like register it. That's what they say in this book, Psycho-Cybernetics, as well. It's like people who get plastic surgery, who again, you haven't become that person. Like you haven't done like the mental and emotional work to like hold the new, what you see. They still feel like the old person. Anyway, uh I hope that was helpful. I'm going to put this up in the community as well with actually, some action steps, some points, I should say, not really action steps of what I've talked about. But like I said, join the 10-day reset if you want to actually be guided through 10 days of like picking something that you want to change, a habit, a behavior, or work towards something, and actually going through that step by step. Yes, so have a nice day, and like I said, get into the community anyway, and there's nervous system stuff there and things I'll be putting up that I've just talked about. There's free, low ticket, and then at the moment I do work one-on-one, but in the future I see myself doing some group programs and things like that to actually walk you through, like 12-week 16-week programs and stuff like that to actually work through something. But let me know anyway if you found this helpful. What did you find helpful? What are you trying to change? Yeah, just reach out and say hi.